So every year I go a little overboard on making New Year's resolutions. This year I went probably a little more overboard than I ever do. And my whole thought process is, if I make a huge list of resolutions and I just check one thing off of that resolutions list, this year was a success. So, I wanted to show you I got a little arts and crafty, and I made my resolutions here. Each one of these guys is a resolution, and then I made each one of them measurable, and that's my charts here. And I wanted to kind of talk to you about some of my resolutions this year and see if you have ideas for me to add to my list. Like I said, I'm happy to come up with a giant list and just cross off one of them. So this year I have some of the basic kinds of resolutions, like lose weight, be healthier, clean my house a little bit more, you know, some of the basic resolutions. But then I kind of decided to go a little deeper and a little less surface and try to work on some things. So I'd like to share with you my resolutions for this year. So the first one that I want to share is one that I did one of my first YouTube videos on. It was getting into the splits. I still have not gotten to the splits, but I have been working towards the splits almost every single day, and I have been seeing improvement there, and I also feel better. I had knee problems and shoulder problems and like all these problems before, plantar fasciitis, and I feel like me getting into the splits or trying to get into the splits has been really helpful. So that's my first resolution. I am going to create way more content on YouTube. That's one of my other goals. I want to do at least 4 videos a month. So I would love your ideas for things that you'd like to see me do. I have decided to not really do too much of a niche yet. I might do playlists that are more niche, but I am not a niche person, and I'll talk more about that in another video. I want to try to go to conferences or summits, and that one I feel like is a good educational tool for me. I've gone to fitness summits and conferences, and I've really enjoyed just learning. And I know with the pandemic that might look different this year, but that's one that I really am excited for. I want to reconnect with old friends. So that's another one that, you know, I just have some friends that kind of we've grown apart, but it doesn't mean that they didn't mean something to me, and still like they have a piece of my heart, and I want to kind of reconnect with some of those people. And so maybe I'll have coffee with somebody once a month, or I don't drink coffee, but you know, whatever, that's like the new term. Another thing is I want to listen to more new music. I want to get excited about a new album, so I'm going to listen to new music to find something that excites me. I want to host more parties, and I have a really hard time hosting parties because I don't like the mess and the cleanup afterwards. So I'm gonna have to kind of think about how I want to host that party, and I don't know, that might mean one this year, but that's one I'd like to do. I just want to spend more time loving people, and I know that that's not as easily measured, but I'm gonna kind of give myself measurements throughout the year, ways to measure that. Like maybe this week I'm gonna text friends and let them know how much I appreciate them, do something special for my husband, bring him a gift home. So I want to focus a little bit on that, but I haven't actually nailed down how I'm gonna measure that out yet. I would like to read more. That's another really common one. Get out of debt is another really common one. I want to have more date nights with my husband, and so I feel like what's reasonable is to ask for 1 date night a month. I know that sounds like not a lot, but we have been struggling with even getting that in the past few years. Just life is so busy, so I want to slow down there. I also want to try to join some sort of club. So I'm not really sure which direction I want to go with that yet, and I've heard of apps like Meetup and things like that, but if you have ideas for me on how to best join a club, I'd really appreciate help on that. But it's just not something that I've ever really tried to do. So if you have ideas for me on how to get connected with people and join clubs, and I'm not really sure which direction I want to go. I'm willing to do a book club, a singing club. I'm really open to ideas on some fun clubs, so please share those in the comments if you have ideas there. I want to practice my singing more, practice my runs. I have a bachelor's degree in music education, and I have a teaching certification or credential here in California to be a vocal coach, but it's something that you should always be working on to improve, so I would like to practice that. I want to do one new recipe a month, so that should be easy enough. I want to stay off of my phone more, so I'm gonna maybe, they have those jars where you can put the timer on and lock your phone in a jar for an hour a day. I'm really considering getting one of those. I might link a couple of those below, but that's kind of which direction I'm thinking of going there. I saw that on, what is it called? The Social Dilemma. Yeah. I want to meditate more, and I'm really, really bad about meditating. When I do meditate, my mind goes in a million directions, and I want to learn to be more focused, and so that's one of the things I want to do. I want to volunteer also for a dog rescue. And I've done this before, and I feel so fulfilled doing that. So I really want to spend some time this year working with a dog rescue again. So if you have ideas for Southern California dog rescues that are looking for volunteers, let me know in the comments below. I want to try to write and record an original song. I want to work with a writer because I feel like I have written songs and I never feel comfortable with my songs, and I want to work with a writer and actually follow through with this. This has been on my resolution list for years and years and years, and I have a deep fear of releasing my own music, and I just need to do it. I need help, I need positivity, I need everything that I can get to get me there. So if you have ideas for producers, songwriters that you could connect me with, that would be awesome. Just ways to get there, that would be great as well. I'm gonna scuba dive again this year. I got certified probably 10 years ago, and I haven't done it since, and I'm going to scuba dive again this year. And I'm gonna dance with my husband. I'm gonna take, even if it's online classes, I'm gonna take dance classes with my husband. He hasn't agreed to it yet, but I am gonna force him. So those are some of my resolutions for this year. If you have ideas for more resolutions, please help me add to my list. I know that's a long list, but I know that I could get a lot of this knocked out if I'm really, really focused. And so I hope you appreciate and maybe got some new ideas from my list. But again, I'm looking for your ideas here too, because it's really important to me to feel like I've really accomplished something every year. And when I can check some of those things off of my list, I feel like, you know what, that year was a success. So thanks for listening to vlog number 2. Happy 2021. No matter which direction it goes, let's make it great. Bye.